But for Old Republic, I had an idea of like how they probably could have approached the entire thing better. Is instead of sort of sucking up to WoW the way that honestly, most MMOs have for several years.
So for Old Republic.
Yeah, like instead of having the thing where they like, oh, we have to have two factions because WoW has two factions, they could have had an idea of like obviously they want this moral system in their game, so have the moral system, but instead of having two factions, everyone starts out in one of those sort of like ambiguous startings that like you have in every single BioWare game ever, where it's like oh you're just this guy on a ship, or oh you just escaped from jail or that for whatever, but like what like your reason for being in jail will kind of be decided by your personality of the character you create through your decisions and so on and so forth. So like you could make decisions that make you good and bad throughout the game, and they can make it so that if you're on a PvP server, you can fight people that are more than X number of slots away from your alignment. It's like if you're
weird.
It's like if you're totally neutral, you could hate people that are perfectly good or perfectly evil, or like good people could fight bad people based on how far away.
But if you're good, you can't fight other good people?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like because like there's like they always want the faction-based PvP and everything. Well, the faction could be based on your decisions instead of just like arbitrarily just picking one at the beginning.
Because that'd be cool, but interesting at the same time. Like I don't know how that would work.
The reason why I think this is better though is because their current system of like trying to have Empire and Republic and then having good and bad people in each one is kind of bullshit. Like has there ever been a good character in any Star Wars movie that was part of the Empire?
Darth Vader. He killed. Well, he
killed the Emperor. He had like the redemption moment, but like
he became a good guy.
But like he was evil throughout the whole series up till then. Like the whole time he was actually in the Empire.
Do stormtroopers count? Like technically, stormtroopers aren't really that evil.
They're basically mindless clones.
Yeah. So.
Which is
but they have personality.
I missed the part when I missed the part of Star Wars where I didn't think that they were clones. They were just a bunch of people in suits because they felt like it's so annoying to realize that
they were clones.
Because that was never part of the story.
Oh.
They used that.
Like, I always thought they were clones because it didn't make any sense. Like, how the fuck do they have this many people?
If you go in the old movies, they even have different voices and shit like that. Like, there's no reason to think that they're clones. But then George Lucas just decided they were clones when they did the.
Yeah, but even in Attack of the Clones, they have different voices.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, but I'm saying like the fact that they have different voices and everything. Like, there's no reason to think they're clones. There's just a bunch of soldiers.
I just figured they were like
making them clones is just kind of like.
I figured that was part of it because that was like the future they basically made. I either thought that the stormtroopers were robots or they were clones. Because it was Star Wars. I figured it like had to be in space, so there's no way you could just find this many able men, so they had to have created them in a lab or something.
Like my issue with the moral system in the game though is that you have a storyline that you have to follow, and what you're going to do when that storyline is based on the overall alignment of your faction, basically. Like, if you are a Empire person, you're going to be doing really fucked up, horrible things throughout your storyline, and then you just sort of, like, make decisions that make you, like, oh, no, I'm a good guy because I saved that one person. It's like, no, you just, like, you've done horrible, horrible things. You've been bombing people. I don't know if you remember that. That was, the objective of your last quest.
Oh, yeah.
You were just bombing villages, you fucker. Don't pretend you're a good guy just because you picked the option with a fucking blue star next to it. Like... It's so weird playing as my Inquisitor in general because he'll, like, whenever I accept a quest, half the time he'll be like, murder and mayhem awaits. I'm like, I thought I was playing as a good guy. Like, I have maxed out, like...
Yeah, but you're a morally conscious guy. You just don't...
It's not even morally conscious. It's like that, like, have you ever seen the movie Condemned?
Yeah.
When it was like, oh, we're a bunch of prisoners, we're fighting on that one stupid blonde chick that...
You mean Battle Royale?
Whatever, all the movies have the same exact plot.
No. Battle Royale is about kids killing each other.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. And then there's that other movie, Death Race, where their cars killing each other. But what? Fucking, there's a movie called Condemned, starring as for some
Stone
reason
Cold Steve Austin.
For some reason, it's starring a wrestler, and there's a bunch of prisoners on an island fighting each other. The guy who organizes this entire thing, his fucking girlfriend or wife or whatever, is right there, and she's like, I am morally objecting to this. How the fuck did you get here, you stupid bitch? Why do you exist in this movie? Like, how does someone who is opposed to the entire concept of what's going on even end up on the island to watch it happen and be like, oh my god, I'm so shocked by what I'm seeing?
Wasn't it broadcast to the world?
No, she was there.
I know, but wasn't it broadcasted anyway?
There. Like
she would have seen it anyways.
Yeah, but she knew in advance that all this was happening, and she went there. Like, she chose to go to this place. And then when you watch her, it's not even like she's like sitting in the back being sad about what's happening. She has like these looks of utter shock, like she can't believe what she's seeing. And I'm like, how does your character exist? This makes no sense. This is like the concept of being a good person in the Empire.
Why are you nitpicking a terrible movie? Like, what does
No,
that
I'm saying
matter?
like that character, that absurd character that shouldn't exist, is like every single person who plays a good character in the Empire and Old Republic.
Well,
Their behavior makes no sense because they're doing all these horrible things, but they're like, oh no, but I want to save the one person because the game let me make a decision at this point. But it's like there's no.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's impossible to have a character that makes sense.
But it doesn't imply that your guy. It's not like as throughout time your guy suddenly gets cheery. It's like, hey, Darth Sidious, how are you doing? It's like,
I'm just saying.
No, it's
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm saying like this would have been a better approach to the whole concept if you wanted to have a moral choice.
I just look at it as like you're just not as much of a douche as the other Sith are. Like, because it's like there are points where it's like, hey, you could either put quail toxin in the water or just starve them to death. And it's like,
I know, like that.
And it's like, let's see. Do I want to make
so
them?
Fucked up,
it's like, do I want to make them starve, which is also painful, or do I want to make them have quail toxin, which apparently is also painful?
Like when you're on Nar Shaddaa, there are missions there telling you to do like pick one of these horrible fates for this person. It's like, why is one of them good? What? That's just why I thought that like my kind of idea seemed like a better approach to this, which obviously they can't do now because they've done the whole game. Like it's not like this like suddenly changed, but like
next
this idea,
expansion.
like if you can make an ambiguous character from the beginning and then have their decisions affect their alignment in the end, and you fight people that aren't your alignment, like that's how you do moral decisions in an MMO, and it's not. And the way they've done it now, like it almost seems like there shouldn't be moral decisions.
Yeah, but that makes it a lot better than just like, hey, bland Sith number one, what are you doing?
I'm saying, like, you can keep the dialogue options. Just don't try to act like there's some sort of overall meaning to it. Because the goodness doesn't mean anything.
It does. It depends on the kind of equipment you're allowed to get.
That's not a meaning.
That's a very big
consequence. It's not even, and it's not a consequence in the narrative. It's a consequence that's completely separated from the narrative.